Hey, what's up? I'm Dominique and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you exactly how to be full glam on a budget. I'll be showing you how to create an everyday makeup look using the best affordable products. And I'm going to be proving to you that you do not need to use expensive products to get your makeup to look flawless. So if you want to learn how to slay your makeup using the best affordable products as your makeup bestie, you've come to the right place. So let's get started and let's jump right into my everyday glam look using the best affordable products from the drugstore. I gotta clip my little bangy doodahs back. Bangy doodahs. I've never called them that before except for right now, so love that. Not the bangy doodahs. Not that. Anything but that. Feels good to get the bangy doodahs out of my face though, that's for sure. When you're doing your makeup every day, it's very important to always start off with a good moisturizer. Now this baby right here is from e.l.f. This is called the Holy Hydration Daily Moisturizer. Now if you don't know, I am obsessed with this stuff, okay? It is so good. It comes with a little pump, so it makes it super easy to apply it to the skin. And for every day, especially when you're on the go, this is perfect. All you have to do is pump a little onto your face and that's it. You're good to go. And this is truly a great moisturizer to wear underneath your foundation because as it starts to dry down, it kind of gets a little tacky. So it's gonna grip really nicely to the foundation. And plus it makes my skin feel so soft and smooth and super hydrated. And that's exactly how I need my skin to feel before I apply foundation. It all starts with the skin prep. I truly use this all the time and I'm obsessed with it. She's too good and she's affordable. Absolutely. Sign me up. Now for primer, I recommend two different options. You got the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer or the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. These two primers do completely different things. The e.l.f. Liquid Putty Primer is going to smooth out your skin and fill in all those pores, whereas the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer is really going to add hydration and help with the longevity of your foundation. So I'm recommending both because honestly, the choice is yours. You know your skin best, so if you want to cover up those pores and smooth out your skin and make your skin look flawless, choose the e.l.f. Liquid Putty. But if your skin feels dry and crusty throughout the day, and if you feel like your makeup breaks apart and just slips off throughout the day, this is the one for you. For me personally, I love a good pore smoothing primer, that is for sure. So of course I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer today. This is one of my favorite primers of all time. It is really good. And when I wear foundation, I want my skin to be as smooth as possible. After I apply this primer to my skin, I swear my skin is like ready for foundation. After this, my skin just knows what's coming next at this point. I do it too much, my skin already knows. So now for foundation, I think the e.l.f. Soft Glam Foundation is perfect for everyday use. And in this, I wear the shade 24 Light Warm. Now for everyday, we want to make sure that we don't use too much foundation. So what I always recommend is starting off by squirting a little bit on the back of your hand, and then with your foundation brush, you just want to pick up a little off the back of your hand. I'm really going to make sure that I'm only putting on the tiniest amount of foundation needed to cover my entire face, because that is the secret to making it look as natural as possible. This foundation alone has a medium coverage and it's definitely buildable. We only need a little bit. We don't have to go too crazy with it because the coverage should already be there when you use the smallest amount. This foundation also has a satin finish, so it's not going to be too matte, it's not going to be too glowy either. It's going to be right in between. And that's why it's perfect for every day, because it's just going to look like your skin, but even better once you apply it. And plus, this foundation is literally $8. I mean, for an amazing high coverage foundation that's perfect for everyday use, you really can't go wrong with this. She's a 10 out of 10. I'm telling you, 10 out of 10. I already know every single skin type is going to love this foundation. For concealer, the SheGlam Like Magic 12-Hour Full Coverage Concealer is the one to use for every day. This retails for $5.99. Isn't that insane? $6 for a great full coverage concealer that's perfect for every day? That is an absolute yes for me. This concealer right here is going to Hollywood. It received a golden ticket and it's everything. It's a yes for me, dog. In this concealer, I wear the shade Shortbread, and just watch how easily it glides onto my skin and blends out and brightens up my under eye too. Oh, and did I say that it's going to cover everything? Because it has such a great, beautiful coverage too. And I'm even going to use it as my eyeshadow primer. I've been obsessed with concealers for eyeshadow primer lately. I don't know why. I just love how full coverage it makes my eye look, so it's so good. And for everyday, you honestly don't need to use this much concealer. But for me, I'm a little bit extra when it comes to my makeup, so I will be using a lot of concealer. But just like foundation, less is more when it comes to concealer. Because a smaller amount of concealer you place underneath your eye means that there's going to be less creases there that appear later in the day. And plus, of course, setting it with powder will always help. But do you see how easily this concealer is blending into my skin? It's actually unreal. I don't even have to try that hard to get it to look good. And that's why this concealer is perfect for every day. Because I don't know about you, but when I use something every day, I want it to be perfect and I want it to work like that. Because let's be real, every day I'm in a rush. After I blend out all the cream products that I apply to my skin, like my foundation, my liquid bronzer, my concealer, my cream blush, I always have to take my beauty sponge and tap it into my skin. I do this step literally every single day, a million times. I really really wish the camera would show you what the difference this makes, but this is one of those steps that's really gonna make a difference in how your foundation looks in person. Now for everyday, we don't wanna go too crazy with the contour and the blush, so I think the SheGlam Sun Sculpt Liquid Contour in the shade Warm Honey is literally perfect for an everyday look. This is a true liquid contour, which means it's going to blend out like that. Liquid products are typically a little bit more sheer because they are more liquidy, duh. And this product right here is super unique because it has a sponge tip applicator, so it makes applying this to your face so fun. And super quick because the sponge tip literally picks up so much product, so you don't have to keep dipping back in every single time. All you have to do is just dot a little onto your face. And I like to go around the perimeter of my forehead, and then I connect it down to the hollows of my cheekbones, and of course a little on the jawline for a little bit of chisel. Oh, and I cannot forget the sides of the nose either. When I sponge this onto my face, it feels super cooling, so I love that about this. And did I mention that this is literally $6? I don't know how SheGlam does it, but they really do it. The products are insanely affordable, yet the formula is also amazing. And this packaging right here is so cute. Now watch how easily this just blends out into my skin. And since it's super easy to blend out, it just looks so natural on the skin. Because with this, harsh lines are basically non-existent. It's fast, convenient, and beautiful. So of course, that's what I look for in an everyday product. And here comes my sponge. I'm gonna tap it into my skin until it's all blended out and looks seamless. You see how natural and bronzed up my skin looks? I'm obsessed, honestly. One of my favorite liquid blushes of all time is of course the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I love this little baby right here, and I do not care who knows it. She's a superstar, she is incredible, she is beautiful, lovely, magnificent, gorgeous, everything in between. I think I have 6 different shades in this blush because that is how much I love this. Today I'm using the shade Pinky Promise, and this retails for $7. It is super pigmented and it lasts all day long, which is the best part. So since this is super pigmented, I'm just gonna start with one baby dot. It's better to need more blush than accidentally apply way too much. It's super hard to get rid of too much blush, but it's really easy to apply more. So after I applied one dot to my cheek, literally, I'm gonna start blending it out with my brush. I just love this because it blends out so easily. I love the shades that they have for these blushes too. I mean, e.l.f. really snapped with that. But the amount of hydration and color it brings to my cheeks is just everything. And I'm going to have this blush for seriously so long because I only need a tiny amount every time I use it. So for me, it's a really good investment. I mean, you see, one dot really did its thing. It looks perfect on my cheeks while also adding a little bit of a glow, so that is why I love it so much. Now it's time to press the blush into my cheek with my sponge, of course. And I also forgot to mention that this blush does not dry down quick at all, so you have a lot of time to work with it to get it to blend out. It's never streaky, it's never patchy, and I can guarantee it's always beautiful. Skin is skinning right now. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. These products really know how to slay. I told you they do. Now I gotta set my face so my makeup stays in place all day long. I'm sorry, we gotta use some powder to make our makeup stay in place and stay put all day long. Now for powders, I recommend 2 different powders based on what skin type you have. If you've got dry to combo to normal skin, you're going to love the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. It's a little bit more lightweight, and it also gives your skin a really subtle glow from within, which I am obsessed with. But if you have more oily combo normal skin, you are going to love the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. This definitely helps to control oil, and it really locks your makeup into place all day. They both do an amazing job at setting your foundation into place. But which powder you should use is definitely based on your skin type. For me personally, I am an e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder girl all the way. Obviously, I'm sure you could tell just by me saying I'm obsessed with this, as I am always obsessed with all the products that I show in all my videos, honestly. Because if I wasn't obsessed, they wouldn't be included. I'm not going to tell you about something if I'm not obsessed with it. So in the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, I wear the shade Light. So first, before I set my foundation into place, I make sure to blend out any creases that may be happening underneath my eyes. Next, I'm just going to pick up a little powder on the back of my sponge, and I'm going to start by setting underneath my eyes first by tapping the powder into my skin. And I'm going to make sure to tap, tap, tap until you cannot see the powder any longer. You really want to work the powder into your skin. I mean, right away, do you see how airbrushed underneath my eyes are looking just by a little bit of this powder compared to this side? I don't know if you can tell, but I just think it looks so good. This is another product that e.l.f. really popped off when they created this. I'm just so picky when it comes to the powders that I like to use, and I can truthfully say that I use this one all the time. So with my powder, I will also set all over my nose. I'll set my top lip and my chin area. I'll also set my smile lines into place and my T-zone in case I start sweating throughout the day. I have super dry skin, and this powder right here is dry skin approved. This right here is just proof that you do not have to drop a bag to get a really good setting powder. Now, since my face is nice and set into place, I'm gonna create a little eyeshadow moment. This is the Sigma eyeshadow palette in the shade Hazy. When I was just looking up this palette, I saw that it retails from anywhere in between $30 to $20 depending on where you get it. But I have to admit, the quality of these eyeshadows are so good. And of course, they make this eyeshadow palette in different color stories. So if you're interested in something a little different than this one, they have that for you too. In this palette, you get 5 matte shadows and 4 shimmers. So that sounds like a good deal to me. So first, with the really fluffy blending brush, I'm going to take the shade right here called Mist, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. So I'm just going to pop it into my crease and do some windshield wiper motions to help blend it all out. And I'm also going to bring this shade all the way up to my eyebrow as well, so we have the whole eye space to work with. The color story of Hazy definitely runs a little bit more cool toned with those purple vibes. As light as the shade looked in the pan, I'm so happy with how this shade looks on my eye. The shadows are just so buttery soft and smooth. So next, with a slightly smaller fluffy blending brush, I'm going to take this shade right here called Petal, and I'm going to stamp it on the outer corner of my eye. And once all the pigment comes off my brush, I'm going to start bringing it into my inner corner with some windshield wiper motions. So I'm just going to stamp, 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 and then throw some windshield wiper motions into the crease to help blend it all out. And if you ever feel like you see any harsh lines in your eyeshadow look, go back in with the first fluffy blending brush that you used and the first eyeshadow shade, and then just lightly dust all the harsh edges away. Now with a really small fluffy blending brush, I'm going to take this shade right here called Vervain, and I'm just basically going to stamp this on the outer corner of my eyelid. And then I'm going to do some circular motions to help blend it out. This is just going to be a little extra added dimension. You do not have to do this step right here, especially for an everyday eyeshadow look, but for me, I'm doing it because I'm extra. And last but not least, I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and I'm going to apply this shade right here called Fanciful all to my lid. This is a really light shimmery silver lilac shade and I am obsessed with it. It's really going to bring the look together and it's going to make my eyeshadow just pop. And here's the eyeshadow. I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the eye look real fast and I'll be right back. As I was doing my mascara, you can see I got a little bit onto my nose, and when that happens, do not worry. It's actually really easy to fix. All you need is a clean Q-tip, and then what you want to do is you want to wait for the mascara to completely dry down onto your skin. If it's not completely dry, it's not going to work. Then with the Q-tip, all you have to do is just scratch back and forth, do a little bit of circular motions, and the mascara is literally going to flake right off. And there it is, all on the Q-tip. And it looks like that never even happened. I love that hack. It's definitely one of my go-tos. Now, did it get a little carried away with this eyeshadow look? I sure did. I sure did, but it's a look by me, so what do you expect? I always go crazy when it comes to my eyeshadow looks. And yes, this is an everyday moment for me, okay? It's so cute. So after I powder my face, I always love to go back in with some powder blush and some powder bronzer just to enhance the shades a little bit. So one of my favorite everyday affordable powder bronzers is this one by Essence. This is the Sun Club Matte Powder Bronzer, and this retails for $5. So honestly, for a really good powder bronzer that just blends like butter and instantly warms up your skin, $5 is such a great price to pay for this bronzer. I mean, honestly, you do not have to buy an expensive bronzer when this one does such a good job. And that's why I'm saying it's so possible to be full glam on a budget. I love the shade of this bronzer. I love how easy it is to use. It looks very smooth and soft once I apply it to my skin. And plus, do you see the pan size of this bronzer? It is so huge. And this means that this powder bronzer is gonna last you forever. So for everyday use, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now for powder blush, I have one that has never failed me. It's such a classic. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of slept on. This is the Milani Cosmetics Rose Powder Blush in the shade Wild Rose. I personally love this because it looks so cute in the pan. It's literally shaped like a rose. Sadly, I dropped mine on the floor and now there's a big crack running through it. But besides that, it literally looked like perfection. So I'm just gonna pick up a little of this onto my brush and then I'm gonna stamp it onto my cheeks. Now I love this blush because it is so easy to use. Just like how everything in this video should be. Specifically, I think this blush shade is such a good everyday blush. It's more of a rosy pink, so it's not too intense, it's not too bright, yet it honestly adds such a beautiful wash of color to the cheeks. And really, you can see how easy it is to blend out. For everyday, I definitely recommend something more on the rosy side, something a little bit soft, and this is a perfect blush. Let's add a little bit of glow to our cheeks. And one of my favorite highlighters is by Maybelline. This is the Master Chrome Highlighter, and I have the shade 250. Now Maybelline may be a drugstore brand, but the way this highlight shines on my skin is definitely giving high end. I mean, do you see how blinding this highlight is? It looks so bougie, so good, without being glittery and chunky. It gives my cheek that beautiful glow from within. And honestly, the more that I look at this, I feel like this is a dupe for the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. It gives the exact same look, and it even looks the same on the pan too. This is such a perfect way to top off my look, and I'll be placing this highlight all over my face. I love to glow, I love to look like the Tin Man. There's just something about when light hits your cheek and you have that little glow right there. Ooh, it is everything. I mean, hello, do you see this? It looks so pretty. This truly is the perfect highlighter to wear every single day. Finally, I have to finish up this look with some setting spray. This is something I do literally every single day, so of course I have to include it in this video. This is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. I personally prefer a setting spray that's gonna add a little bit of glow to my skin. Since I'm a dry skin queen, this one is perfect for me. This setting mist is super slept on for some reason, yet adds such a good, beautiful glow from within to my skin. Plus, it melts all the powder away on my skin, so I do not look powdery or crusty after using this. And when I use this, I make sure to saturate my skin all over and get it soaking wet with setting spray. The more setting spray you apply to your skin, the glowier your skin's gonna look once it dries down. And did I mention this smells just like coconut, so it's so pleasant to use. Get you some e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. You're going to love this. And now that it's started to dry down, do you see the glow that it just gave my skin? This is insane. Such a good one. I'm obsessed, duh. And the last step of my makeup routine is always my lip combo. So for lip liner, I wanted one that's gonna be a little bit deeper than my actual lip color. So I decided to line my lips with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Brink. These lip pencils are honestly so creamy and they're so good, and I really do love them, and this shade is everything. Once they dry down, they do not budge all day long. So now I'm gonna use a liquid lipstick. This is the NYX Cosmetics Lip Lingerie, and I have the shade Pushed Up. These are such good liquid lipsticks, and the shade range is so beautiful, truly. They're so pigmented, they smell good, and a little bit goes a really long way, that's for sure. But once this dries all the way down, it's gonna be transfer proof, so it's not going anywhere. And then for a little bit of hydration, I'm gonna top off the lip combo with this NYX Cosmetics Duck Plump Lip Plumper. This is a plumping lip gloss, and it definitely has a little bit of color to it too. In this, I'm wearing the shade Apricot, and now after I apply the gloss to my lipstick, my lips aren't gonna be transfer proof anymore. So for an everyday look, I might not add the gloss, but if I did need a little bit of gloss if my liquid lip was drying down a little bit too crusty, I would just take this and apply a little bit to the center. And that is it. That's all you need, is like one little dab of lip gloss in the center of your liquid lip, and it will rehydrate your liquid lip like that. And here's today's final everyday full glam look using the most iconic affordable products that I know. Now, didn't these products just slay and do their thing? I mean, this really just goes to show that you do not need expensive products to make your makeup look flawless. Pretty much all of these products you can find at the drugstore, and they are incredible. And honestly, they've never let me down, which is why I had to include them in this video today. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. And before you go, make sure to leave a comment down below telling me what's your favorite affordable makeup product that you use every single day. I can't lie, mine probably has to be the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. This is so good, especially for every day. I love it. And of course, as always, I've linked all the products that I mentioned in today's video down in the description box, just in case you want to go ahead and check any of them out. And I'll be back next week with a brand new video, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss when I upload my next video. And then that way we can truly become besties. If you've made it to this point in this video, shout out to you. You're a real one, and I hope you know that. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Oh, and P.S. before you go, don't forget to subscribe so that we can become besties. I love that for us. Bye. I'll see you on the next one.